because they want to continuously control the dynamic of their children's suffering. And what this can look like.
And this is exactly why I will never have any respect for anyone that supported my so-called dad and his wife and the abuse that they inflicted on me. They try to make it seem like I was such a bad kid, a horrible kid, and say, you need to watch this young lady's video so you can know exactly where I'm going with this. Because it seemed like they just wanted to make life hard on me for no reason, using my social security number to get food stamps, and yet they wasn't giving me anything at all. She would make sure that she only got enough just for her and her children, even though she illegally used my social security number to get food stamps. Furthermore, not to mention, I was the only one that had to ask permission to eat. But yet they weren't going around telling people stuff like that. See, that's why I would never have any respect for anyone, because this is the thing. These people saw the abuse. They even got to see it firsthand. They got to see how he treated me firsthand. Did they say anything to him? Did they hold him accountable? Did they hold her accountable? They didn't care. As long as it wasn't on them, they didn't mind me going through all of that abuse. They didn't mind spinning the narratives to people. Oh, she can't do this, she can't do that. And people looking at me like, oh, well, your peers, they have this, then the third. How come you don't? Maybe because I have to do everything myself. My peers have a pillar of support. My peers have people to help them. My peers are not getting up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to get themselves mentally together just to be able to take the public bus 2.5 hours to school, no food in her belly, then don't get home until almost 7 to 8 o'clock at night, taking the public transportation, no food in her belly, exhausted, tired, just having to go to sleep, maybe eat a bologna sandwich. If I had that, just to turn around and get up and have to do it all over again. My peers didn't have to do that. I did. My peers were able to have food in their belly. I couldn't. So they wanted to spin the narrative to make it seem like, oh, this is just her. She's not doing good in school. She's not this, she's not that. But they're not telling people that they're not feeding me. They're not telling people that, oh, I can't concentrate because I'm hungry. They're not telling people that I have to get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to take public transportation to get to school every day. They're not telling people that, oh, I didn't want to fill out her food form so she can eat at school because I don't want her to eat. I want her to struggle. I want her to starve, just so they can continue in that narrative of as if something was wrong with me, as to why I was failing in school, as to why I couldn't keep up, as to why I was withdrawn. Any little thing I wanted, I had to work for it. So when I got kicked out of school at 15, a couple of months after that, I turned 16. My uncle took me to go and get my ID, my birth certificate that my so-called dad and his wife did not want to give me, mind you. They claimed they couldn't find it. So my uncle said, don't worry about it. I'll just buy her a new one. Bought me a birth certificate so I can get my ID, so I can start to work. And I started to feed myself. I started taking care of myself. I started doing for myself. I wasn't concerned about school. But of course, they wanted to spin that though. Oh, she ain't in school. She ain't doing that. But I'm working. But I'm holding my own at 16, just turned 16. Started working a month after I turned 16. So yes, these piss poor ass parents will spin the narrative about you as if something is wrong with you, and the idiotic imbeciles around them really believe in that, really saying to themselves like, yeah, you're right, something gotta be wrong with her, there's clearly nothing wrong with you, or are you insane? Like, but nevertheless, I want to send an encouragement to everyone else that has been through similar situations, if not worse, that you have every right to move around these people as if they never existed. Because let me tell you something, if you continue to allow these abusive people to remain in your life, they will continue to make your life a living hell, and then it will trickle upon your children. It wasn't until what that bastard did to me started to affect my children by him taking money out of my pocket, which took food out of my children's mouth, which took transportation, that affected my job. I was working in a whole other city when he decided to take my money and take my car, and laughed about it, mocked me about it, and sent me a nasty email saying, now you gonna need me for something else. I didn't need you prior to that. That was a situation to where the Most High said, this is a way for you to repair your relationship with your daughter, and he chose to spit in the Most High's face, and the Most High said, it is done. Do not ever communicate with him again. It is done. I am done. And this ain't got nothing to do with anger, baby. This is just is what it is. I am a generational curse breaker. See, my grandmother went through a similar situation with her father, but because she loved the Lord so much and figured that, well, I got to be a good Christian person, I have to allow this abusive person into my life and remain until his deathbed. That ain't me. That's not me. She's a wonderful woman, very wonderful woman. God rest her soul. That ain't me. It's done. What he did affected my children. Enough was enough. That was over 3 decades of abuse. Physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, then financial abuse. And you honestly think that just because you carry the tag and title of a parent that you're supposed to remain in my life, you got to be sick. And everybody around you that supported you is just as stupid as you are. But nevertheless, though, all that I went through didn't break me the way that you thought I was going to be broken. All it did was just break down those old mindsets, that bird brain mindset that y'all wanted me to have, that, oh, I still got to keep an abusive person in my life regardless of what their tag and title is. And all they said to me is, you know what? I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. Screw all this, because didn't nobody have my back. Nobody, not one person in that family had my back. Everybody turned on me, even including the children. And now that them children are adults, they still have that same position as their parents. They can F off too. Seriously. But nevertheless, though, I've had to heal a lot. And I am very no nonsense when it comes to abusive situations, when it comes to people not doing right by me, honoring me, appreciating me, and respecting me, because I am a loyal person, but I would never be so loyal to a person to where I am more loyal to them and their abuse and what it is that they do to me just to say I'm a loyal person. I'm going to stick by you no matter what. Absolutely the hell not. Don't know what you thought. Leave you in the dust where you belong. But yeah, her video, I went through that. All the other siblings got, and I'm talking about the paternal side, because on the maternal side we was all treated the same way, but on the paternal side, oh no, they made sure that I was isolated. They made sure that all the other kids were done for and intentionally chose to leave me out of it. They made sure to spin the narrative that something is wrong with me, the dark one, and all the other kids were angels. Nevertheless, God is good. I don't talk to nan one of them, and ain't going to, because they made their choice. They made their decision. They chose their side, and they can all stick with it.